Venus retrograde, March 1st at 4:36 p.m. Pacific Standard Time at 10 degrees Aries, 48 minutes. And then on March 3rd, Mercury goes into Aries. So we got a ton of Aries energy, cardinal fire, so outspoken, honest, direct, can be kind of competitive and oblivious to other people's feelings. Now remember, Mars rules Aries, so we got that masculine physical energy going on too. Now with Venus in there, she's very passionate. She wants newness, excitement, adventure. So she likes to be chased as well as chase. So, and once the chase gets gone, she can kind of lose interest. So if you have an Aries in your life, keep it fun, keep it adventuresome. Now, Venus retrograde, this is the time to evaluate, reevaluate, reevaluate, especially with relationships, because Venus rules what we value. Now, if you get into a relationship on a Venus retrograde, you might want to get out of it when it goes direct, April 12th. And vice versa, if you break up with somebody during a Venus retrograde, you might want to get back together once it goes direct. And be ready for old lovers to come into your life to kind of to maybe finish up unresolved issues, or maybe you want to do that too. Now remember, Venus is going to also rule our beauty and that kind of stuff, so I would not recommend you dyeing your hair lavender until Venus goes direct, or buying expensive clothes, or buying anything expensive. Wait until it goes direct, and see what you really like. Now Mercury is going to go into Aries on March 3rd at 2:37 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. Now the big thing I want to point out on this one is that on March 2nd, Mercury is going to conjunct Neptune, and so we'll really be getting downloads of meditation, lofty spiritual ideas. Don't get lost and distracted by it. Stay focused, but on your spirituality. Then Mercury will go into Aries, and right after that, it's going to sextile Pluto on March 5th. Now, Mercury sextile Pluto is insight, being able to go right to the heart of the matter. So any of these ideas that you've written down that maybe you didn't quite understand with Neptune, you'll be able to start figuring that out. So anyway, that's enough for now. Hope you join me in my expanded version right after this, and we'll talk to you hopefully next week. Bye! Oh, remember to like and subscribe. Welcome back to the Magical Mystery School and the extended version of Venus retrograde, Mercury goes into Aries 2025. Okay, so the first thing I want to mention is with Venus going retrograde March 1st, just be prepared. So it's going to go backwards. It's at 11 degrees Aries. It is going to go back into Pisces for at the end of March for about a month. And then Mercury is going into Aries on March 3rd, but watch out, Mercury's going to go retrograde on March 15th. So Mercury's going to go backwards and go back into Pisces also at the end of March. So we've got a lot of Aries Pisces stuff going on, so keep that in mind in your own charts. Now, mutable water, that's Pisces. Just in general, you know, very spiritual, artistic, desires to serve others, give and take in that spiritual realm. They're really into that too, as well as the emotional realm. In fact, Venus in Pisces is considered one of the best lovers in the zodiac. I'm not Venus in Pisces, so I don't know if that's true or not. Anyway, and the negative parts of that can be some self-pity, you know, can be a little sneaky and dishonest, all the way down to that very criminal, subconscious, dark stuff. But we're not going to worry about those folks. You know, the most of us normal, average people, you know, we can get caught in white lies. And with Venus and Pisces in general, when they lie, they're lying to protect you. Right? Okay. Venus goes retrograde only once every 18 months, so we won't even have to worry about it in 2026. And again, just keep thinking about what do you value in your life, what people, places, activities, all that kind of stuff, and let yourself kind of go back and forth, especially until April 12th. No commitments. All right. Okay. So I'm going to put you on pause, and then we'll look at the wheel. All right, here's the wheel. Okay, so here comes Venus. Oh, that's me. All right, so on February 5th is when Venus left Pisces and crossed over that 0-degree Aries, all right? And she's been going forward, forward, forward. And remember, that's our big creator degree here. And then on March 1st, she's going to get all the way to about 11 degrees Aries. And then she's going to go retrograde. And remember that stopping and going backwards is all an optical illusion. I think my lesson 27 on the Astrology for Beginners has the class on retrogrades. But anyway, and then she's going to go retrograde, and then on March 20, that means she's going to start going this direction now. So direct is this way, retrograde is that way. So on March 21st, she's going to sextile Pluto. So remember, good old Pluto here is still up here, hasn't gone anywhere really. It's at 2 degrees Aquarius pretty much. So when she gets to 2 degrees Aries, we've got that fire, air, she's going to sextile that Pluto. And that's going to be a great time to really take some initiative, get out there and strut your stuff, basically. Okay, and really insightful and all sorts of good things like that. Now, on March 27th, Venus is going to, so just 6 days after that, Venus will go back into Pisces. And on that exact same day, in fact, I'm going to just put her right here, right on the axis. On the 27th, she's also going to conjunct Neptune and the North Node. Because remember, Neptune and the North Node are basically sitting there at, I think it's like 28, 29 degrees of Pisces. So they're sitting right here, right on that, almost on that axis point too there. Now, I think this is just crazy time because Pisces, the ruler of Pisces is Neptune, and Venus is exalted in Pisces. So we, around this time, March 27th or so, just let the information come in. Do a lot of meditating, journaling, let all that information come in because that's amazing. That's a lot of stuff. Now, Venus is going to continue to go retrograde all through April. She goes direct April 12th and then won't be back into Aries until May 1st. So I'll go over those things as we get closer to them, but I wanted to point those, especially this big conjunction that's going on right there in Pisces. I don't know. Maybe there'll be huge floods or something too going on at this time. I don't know. Now, I also wanted to mention, just for your FYI, circle this on your calendar, March 30th is when Neptune goes into Aries. And that is just like, that is so exciting. Now remember, the nodes go opposite direction of the planet. So the nodes are going this direction, and whereas our planets are going this direction. So Neptune is going to be right there also at that 0 degree, that supercritical degree, 0 Aries. Now, the other big thing to remember about this is that Neptune's slow, so it has not been in Aries for 165 years. It takes Neptune 165 years to get all the way around this chart. So, and just to let you know, the last time Neptune was in Aries was right before the Civil War. So, God help us. I mean that, please. Okay. Anyway, so do mark that, and as the time gets closer. But I wanted to just give you a little forewarning on that one. And the other FYI I want to give you is on March 15th, Mercury is going to go retrograde. Now, Mercury, and we'll go over this in a little bit more detail too, but it will be down in Aries and is going to go backwards and go back into Pisces, just like Venus is doing. But so currently, right now, Mercury is considered to be in its shadow. And what the shadow just means is that as the planet goes this direction and when it gets to its furthest point and turns around and goes direct, and then it's going to come up or retrograde, and then it's going to stop and go direct again. So when the planet gets over that point where that direct after the retrograde, that's considered to be in the shadow. But the big thing, and I explain all this in lots of detail in my Astrology for Beginners class, but the big thing I want you to focus on with Mercury coming up and going retrograde is your sensitivity to this. Because, I consider myself kind of average sensitive to Mercury retrograde. I mean, I've got my stories. I bought a used car in New Zealand on a Mercury retrograde. Boo-boo, not the right thing to do. But, besides that, it's not too bad for me. Whereas I had a friend she was a sun sign Virgo, Mercury in Virgo, rising sign Virgo, and Virgo's ruled by Mercury. And I tell you, about a week to 10 days before Mercury would go retrograde in any sign, it didn't matter, things would start happening. She started getting little computer glitches, little malware. Something would happen with her car. A light would come on, say, take to dealer, those kinds of things. Appointments would get mixed up. And this is very general. Transportation, technology, and appointments are three of the biggest things that Mercury retrograde affects. But you might make plans with a friend that's like, oh, let's meet for lunch at noon. Okay, noon gets there, 12:15, you text her, where are you? And she said, oh, I thought we said 1 o'clock. So just remember, that's where, she may have heard that, she may have said that, your ears may not have heard that right. There's a lot of different things that could have happened there. But those are the kind of mix-ups that happen. Now, as I've said, with Mercury leaving Pisces, that's our world of spirituality and imagination. We'll just be in Pisces from the 29th to April 16th. Remember, too, with Mercury and Pisces, that's telepathy, ESP kind of stuff. It can be a little gullible, okay? Feeling that ebb and flow. Whereas in Aries, we're much more honest, decisive, but we can be impatient and a little competitive with people. That's the cardinal fire. So just remember that there's always the good and bad for all these signs and aspects and such. Now, I also wanted to show you this, and let me know, I made this up last time, and if you like these or not. And you're more than welcome to make a screenshot here. But here you can see, here's Mercury going into Aries on March 3rd. And notice it did just, on March 2nd, it conjuncts that Neptune and that North Node. And then on the 5th of March is when it sextiles that Pluto up in Aquarius, just like Venus was doing, right? Here to here. And again, let the ideas, let the spiritual thoughts, your meditation, your journaling come through big time, especially March 2nd. And then by March 5th, you'll be able to make some sense out of it. This will help you. This is our logical, like I said, just our brains are going to be like laser focused on, analyzing and all that kind of good stuff, analyzing data. That's what Aries and Aquarius likes to do, huh? Okay, so I think I got that for you. Okay, So I think that's pretty much everything I kind of wanted to go over right now on this one. And next time we'll talk about the eclipses are starting in March. And just get ready, everybody. March and April, it's gonna get crazy out there. I think time is gonna actually feel like it's gonna be speeding up. I mean, everything is just supercharged. What can I say? So we do have a lunar eclipse coming up on March 14th. That's the same as the full moon. It's just a special full moon. And so we'll talk about that next time. And we'll go into more detail with Mercury going retrograde March 15th. But I also wanted to mention, I had talked to you all last time about getting your charts done and your birth time, how important that was. And I realized I didn't say anything. What if you totally strike out? There's nothing on your birth certificate. Your mother knows nothing. There's no birth announcement. Siblings, your father, nobody knows anything. As far as they know, you just appeared on that day. I don't know. It's hard for me to believe you wouldn't remember something about birthing a child, unless you had like 9 or 10 of them or something. But anyway, if you totally strike out, the 2 times that people use for their astrology chart, and there is a thing called rectification, where they can, and I've done that with people, and I think it kind of works, to be quite honest, where you sort of analyze their lives and their personalities, and you can kind of suss out what their rising sign is. Because remember, your rising sign is who you present to the public, okay? So, but if so you can do that, and there's actually some people that you got to pay quite a bit of money for, and they're like professionals at rectifying your chart and that kind of thing. Me, I just be kind of like, let's give this a try. Okay, so, but the 2 times, the first one is dawn, or 6 a.m., and the reason for that is because at dawn, of course, whatever sun sign, because the sun is rising, that's going to be, your sun will be in the first house. So it will just kind of re-emphasize your solar stuff. So, and those are the charts, like the people who do the horoscopes for, I don't know, do they even do that anymore? Newspapers and magazines, that kind of thing. They'll be using that chart with putting the sun sign at dawn, okay? So if you're a Scorpio sun sign, during the time when the sun is in Scorpio, that's going to be the sign that's going to be coming up over the horizon at dawn, okay? And just to let you know, the rising sign changes every 2 hours. So 6 to 8 would, this example would be Aries, 8 to 10 Taurus, 10 to noon Gemini, etc. And then the other birth time that a lot of people will use is at noon. And that would put your sun in the 10th house, because it's high noon, right? So the sun is up there, high noon. Okay? So that one people use because it sort of splits the difference of everything. So if you don't know if you were born before midnight or after midnight, that kind of thing, like my sister doesn't know anything about her birth time exactly, but she does know that she was born right after midnight, like within an hour for sure. So, those kinds of things can really help you out. Okay, so, and just because, and that noon thing, splitting the moon does move a degree every 2 hours. So it's moving pretty fast, not near as fast as that rising sign, but in a 24-hour period, you can get a fairly significant shift in the moon's placement. Oh, there's our clock, so it must be time to say goodbye. So anyway, everybody, I hope everybody's learned something. Please let me know in the comments what you like and what you don't like, and just remember, from here to there, from there to here, funny things are everywhere. Bye! Hope to see you next time. Remember to like and subscribe.